for being here today with us. I'm going to be speaking a little bit in English, a little bit in Spanish, so everyone can understand. Also, welcome to our colleagues that are from abroad and to you that are present here. Thank you so much. Also, our wonderful professor for our course of Chinese. Thank you for being here also. It's very interesting for me to present Ambassador One with this China on postcards. It's very interesting because it was an idea of the ambassador to share with us a little piece of Chinese history. So I I'm very excited. I'm thrilled to have you here and to have all of you here. So welcome. And I gave the word to Ambassador One. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Okay, thank you. Gracias.
I think me.
Okay. Buenos tardes. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Okay. So,
Yes.
okay. Um, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So, dear Ambassador Zanablia, dear colleagues and friends in Foreign Ministry of Costa Rica, and it's my great honor to be here. And thank you for your interests and valuable time. I know that all of you are very busy and a lot of your colleagues are online. So I would like to share some old postcards published in Europe, but related with China and with you this afternoon. So first of all, I would like to give you some introduction, give you some background informations. And the history of China's contact with the West can be generally speaking, can be divided into three stages: ancient times, modern times, contemporary time. And there are two reasons why I want to focus on the history of exchanges between China and the West in modern times, especially the middle period of that area. One reason is the academic one. So this period of history is the key to understanding the logic of China's political economy and foreign policy. And the second one is a personal one. So since the 1990s, while traveling in Europe, my husband and I have collected a lot of postcards and photos of Europeans about China at the turn of the 19th and the 20th century. I think these cards and the photos are a very good record of that era. And also, I would like to give you some backgrounds of the modern times of China. Okay, generally speaking, so there are three main features of this time. First one is Western powers invaded China, causing changes unprecedented in 3,000 years. And this is a judgment of Li Hongzhang. Li Hongzhang was the most important politician at that time in China. And in 1872, he told the empire of Qing dynasty at that time that he said that China was facing profound crises and challenges which China had never experienced in the past 3,000 years. And the second feature of that time is that the Qing government suffered repeated defeats and ceded territory to pay in indemnities. And the third feature of that time is that people in China, common people in China, they were extreme poor, and they were also very angry, very unsatisfied with the Qing dynasty. And the revolution was spurring and saving the nation from extinction had become a national consensus. And next page is with some important historical events at that time. The first Opium War in 1940, and which led to a treaty Nanking in 1942, and through this treaty we lost Hong Kong Island. Okay, and the second Opium War it was and led to Treaty of Beijing with United Kingdom, with France and Russia, and the first Sino-Japanese War in 1894, and the treaty with Japan. So in the next year, and with this treaty, we lost the island Taiwan. And also some other important events like the Boxer Rebellion at the end of 19th centuries and at the beginning of 20th centuries, the Boxer Protocol, and also the Russian-Japanese War in China in 1904. So my first picture or my first postcard is a very important one, and this is a cartoon. Is a very popular cartoon in late 19th century, and with the title "The Situation in Far East." And you can see the eagle. The eagle represents United States, and at the top of the card is a bear. This bear represents Russia, and there is a dog. A dog represents the United Kingdom. The toad represents France. The sun, Japan, and the sausage, Germany. And three officials from the Qing dynasty representing the Qing government. One holding copper coins in his hand and was plundering people's wealth. The other one was having fun with a woman in his arms, and so on. So it shows that also Qing government used many means to suppress the freedom of thought, fooling and enslaving the people. And this cartoon reflects the historical reality at that time, that the Qing Empire had been reduced to a semi-colonial and semi-feudal country. And the next one is published in Paris around year 1900. In the eyes of the Western powers, China at the end of 19th century was a cake that they could cut and divide at will. So, and the next one is also from France, with the title "The Yellow Peril, European Nightmare." So while converting China's wealth, Europe also continued to create the so-called yellow peril theory to prepare public opinion for its invasion of China. The cartoon on this postcard is a promotional, emotional material from 100 years ago. Okay. And then the next postcard. Okay. The next postcard is a group photo of the so-called Eight Power Alliance. When the soldiers arrived in Tianjin in 1900. So, and the eight powers are United Kingdom, Russia, Japan, France, Germany, USA, Italy, Austro-Hungarian. And the United Kingdom also brought its followers, India and Australia, to the war against China. And next one is also the group photo of the soldiers from these countries. And this postcard shows that on September 7th, 1901, Li Hongzhang, the minister at that time in China, and Prince Qing signed the Boxer Protocol with 11 countries, including these 8 countries and plus Belgium, Spain, and the Netherlands in Beijing. And this treaty marks the most humiliation treaty China has ever signed. And these 3 countries, Belgium, Spain, and the Netherlands, they haven't took part in the war. But after the war, they told the other powers they wanted also to share the results of the war. And the next postcards. So they are the main figures, political figures of the Qing dynasty at that time. And first one is the emperor Guangxu. Okay, this is a photo of the emperor. And the emperor was young, and he strongly supported the reformists in order to strengthen himself and also to make a change in the whole country. And in 1898, he launched a reform, the so-called 100 Days Reform, but opposed by the conservatives headed by the Empress Dowager, his nominal mother, Cixi. And he was put, and after that, he was put under house arrest. And in 1908, he died suddenly at the age of 38. And the next one, this is the most important political figure at that time. The Empress Dowager of China, Cixi. And she was the most important political figure and the real ruler of the late Qing dynasty. On August 14th, 1900, the 8 power allied forces invaded Beijing, and Cixi and the whole royal family fled to Xi'an. And she made Li Hongzhang and the Qing princess ministers with full power to negotiate with the great powers. And she put the responsibility for the war on the Boxers. So, and she stated that the Qing government would measure China's own resources and win the favor of the power. And this statement was condemned in the whole country. So, and the postcard on the right side, is a boat used by Cixi and in Summer Palace. And nowadays you can find this boat in the Summer Palace. Okay. And this is Li Hongzhang. So the most important politician, diplomat, and military general in the late Qing dynasty. And he was the first diplomatic envoy to travel around the world in the Qing dynasty in the spring of 1896, he traveled to Russia and then to Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, France, the United Kingdom, and then to the United States and Canada. And he was one of the main leaders of the westernization movement in Qing Dynasty, and set up the first navies, naval fleets, and military factories in China. He was also he has also been criticized for signing a series of unequal treaties on behalf of the Qing government, as well as personal corruption and decision-making errors and other issues. And the next one, and the postcard on the left side is a photo taken when Li Hongzhang met with Bismarck in Hamburg, in Germany, in June 1896. And the card, so on the right side, is a photo of the gunpowder factory built in 1870 by Li Hongzhang in Tianjin. Tianjin is also a harbor, is a port city in North China. And at that time, it was the most important port in North China. Okay. Next one, number 11, Chinese soldiers. So, okay, the troops of Qing Dynasty were already equipped with Western arms and Western instruments. You can see it very clearly in this postcard. So next one. Okay, so because there are a lot of postcards and I have to cut some out. So not every postcard I will explain. So direct to the postcard number. Okay, number 16. Number 16. So and the following postcards are showing the first Sino-Japanese War, and after the first Sino-Japanese War, and there was a frenzy to cover up China that started after this war. So number 16 is a story which was very popular in the Western media at that time. It's a story that a soldier from United Kingdom he refused to kneel to Chinese emperor, to Chinese officials, but later it was found that it was fake news, and it shows also the Western patriotic propaganda at that time. Okay. And the next one is a very important one with the title Sino-Japanese War, Battle in Pingyang. This is it's in North Korea. Okay, in 1868, through the major restoration, Japan left Asia and entered Europe and began to embark on the road of capitalism, and its national power became increasingly stronger. And about 20 years later, in 1887, the Japanese General Staff formulated the so-called Qing expedition strategy. which gradually evolved into a 5-step mainland policy and centered on the invasion of China. And that is the first step is capturing Taiwan, and the second one annexing North Korea. The third, marching into Manchuria and Mongolia. The fourth, destroying China. And the fifth, conquering Asia. And the final aim is to dominate the world. So if you look back to the history and this strategy, this Qing expedition strategy was put forward step by step. And during the first Sino-Japanese War, due to the political corruption, economic weakness, and also some wrong command, so Chinese troops were passively beaten. And in 1895, the entire Beiyang Navy, the second Navy of China, so was destroyed, and the whole area, Liaodong, it's an area in the northeast of China, was completely occupied by the Japanese soldiers. So a series of harsh conditions were requested by Japan in 1895, such as the cession of the Liaodong Peninsula, the Taiwan Islands, and the Penghu Islands to Japan, and a compensation of 200 million taels of silver for military expenses, and equivalent to 3 years of China's fiscal revenue at that time. So the result and impact of this war is very profound for the whole China. And the next one, number 18. Okay, with the title, this postcard comes also from Germany. So with the title "Off to China." So it shows that Germany's deliberate invasion of China at the end of 19th century, and from 1860 to 1872, the famous German geologist Ferdinand von Richthofen, he is a very famous geologist. He visited, in this 12 years, he visited China altogether for 8 times for inspections. And he was also the inventor of the term Silk Road. He suggested that German, especially German emperor, to occupy Jiaozhou Bay. And Jiaozhou is an area in the province Shandong, and is a very important coastal area in North China. So the next one, is also a cartoon. So this cartoon tells us the German ambitions through British eyes, and because this postcard was printed in London, and at the bottom of the postcard, so it was written, so with just a few additional touches here and there, I shall make a first-rate emperor of China lease Jiaozhou Bay 99 years. So, and the title of this postcard is a new road. So at the end, or at so in so at the bottom, so the small writing is the Kaiser, the emperor. Is a German emperor. Is Kaiser. The Kaiser prepares for China. Okay, at the postcard on the right side, the number card number 20. So with the title "Entrance to the Harbor of Jiaozhou." So in November 1896, 97, two German missionaries were killed in a village church in Jule, in the province Shandong. And this gave a good excuse to the German emperor to invade China. And the next postcards, they are also about this war. Okay, number 21, with the title "Greeting from Jiaozhou Bay." It shows the German cruiser division at anchor in Jiaozhou Bay. And the next one is very interesting. You'll see a map of the provinces in the northeast China, including Jiaozhou area and including Shandong province. So, and on the map, a lot of Chinese babies, and so with the title, "Our Youngest Colonists." Okay. And directed to number 25. Okay. So and the card number 25 tells us the Kettler incident, one of the triggers of the 8-power Allied forces war of aggression against China. And this man, Clemens August Freiherr von Kettler, he was a minister of German envoy to China, and he was killed in confrontation with patrolling Qing troops on his way to Zhongliyamen. And Zhongliyamen is the foreign ministry of Qing dynasty. So he was on the way to the foreign ministry of Qing government, and he was shot by a soldier of Qing troops. So knowing it was on June 20th, 1900. So knowing his death, and the German Kaiser, the German Emperor Wilhelm II, officially dispatched an expeditionary force of more than 20,000 people to China, and commanded by Marshal Waldersee. And on July 27th, 1900, when the German troop boarded the ship in Bremerhaven in the port, and the emperor, the German Emperor Wilhelm II, he delivered the bloody Han speech. However, this force had not yet arrived in China. The war was already over. And next, the card number 26 is shows the monument of Kettler in Beijing. And in 1901, the Qing government built this monument in Beijing to express its apology in accordance with the Boxer Protocol. And after the First World War in 1918, so this monument was moved to the Central Park in Beijing and renamed to the Victory of Justice Arch. And after 1949, it was changed the name Defending Peace Arch. And this arch is still in the Zhongshan Park. If you visit China, you can visit this arch. So, okay, this one, huh? This card is a photo showing that German emperor and his wife, the empress, watching the parade of Navy troops to China. And in his speech, the Han speech, the so-called Han speech, the emperor told the German soldiers that they should make a name for themselves in China, just like 1,000 years ago, the Huns under their king, Attila. And so may the name Germany be affirmed by the soldiers in such a way in China that no Chinese will ever again dare to look cross-eyed at a German. So, and now about the result and impact of this war in China. So, you will see in this card, you will see the German sailors in Tianjin protected by their gunboat. And the next cards will show you that the soldiers of these powers, they were in everywhere, and in Changchun, in Great Wall, in Tianjin, in Qingdao, in everywhere. In the north is China. 就是下面几张。On the Great Wall, one is on the Great Wall, and the others in Tianjin and in Qingdao. And the next one, the next page, okay. And the card number 33 shows us the ruins after bombing in Tianjin. And the right one is a photo of damaged Zhengyangmen, the city gates of Beijing. And next one, okay. Also, the city gates of Beijing before the war and after the war. Okay, this one, the card number 37 on the left side. So it shows that the soldiers of Allied forces were camping in a Forbidden City in Beijing. And the card on the right side is very interesting. So well equipped and powerful, the 8 power Allied forces totaled 40,000 to 70,000 soldiers, but the actual combat force when invading Beijing were less than 20,000 troops. Among them, more than 8,000 were Japanese soldiers. In fact, the Qing government still had more than, at that time, the Qing government had still more than 250,000 troops available. But within 10 days, the Allied forces captured Beijing. And this card, number 38 shows that the Qing Army's gun machines and cannons being displaced in Toulon in France, and the Qing Army's equipment was not so bad at that time. So the next postcards are showing that the generals, the soldiers, officials, and their activities in North China. And direct to number 44. Okay, 44. And these cards shows these cards show the arrival and activities of Graf von Wallenstein and the commander of chief of the 8 power allied forces and his staff and soldiers in China. So, and next page. And these cards are propaganda posters of the powers during the war. In their eyes, China was just a powerful, and everyone could go up and pull out a strand of hair. And China was invaded, but was still accused. So the next one, direct to 54. 54. Okay, the 54. This postcard on the right side is very interesting, and this card describes Li Hongzhang's efforts to negotiate peace under the escort of the Japanese and the Russian armies. And 2 months later, 2 months after signing the Boxer Protocol, the most humiliating and unequal treaty in modern China, and Li Hongzhang died. Okay. So the next postcards describe the soldiers of these countries, these powers in Beijing and in North China. So direct to the card number 59. Okay. This one is also very important. It was published in Hong Kong. So in 1901, in accordance of the Boxer Protocol, the Qing government sent Prince Chun Qingwang to Germany to apologize, and his name is Zaifeng, and he thus became the first and the only prince in the history of the Qing dynasty to go abroad on official business. And this card shows on his apology trip to Germany, he visited Hong Kong, and he traveled from Hong Kong to Europe. So 62 62. Okay. And this card tells us that every country of this power, every power, they set up in Beijing their own legation quarter in Beijing or in Tianjin, because at that time Tianjin was very important. Is just nearby Beijing, and it's a port, so it's very important. And when the foreign aggressors when they came, they always first come to Tianjin and then to Beijing. And the next page. The next one. Okay. Okay, this postcard is my favorite. It's my favorite. It's a photo of Walensee, and the handwriting is very beautiful. Mm. Yes, and so after coming back to Germany, Walensee wrote a book with the title "Notes on the Boxer Rebellion." And in his book, he described a lot of Chinese people, and his general impression is that all the upper classes are completely ignorant of the world's situation, just arrogant. As for the officials, they are they are filled with corruption and have no spirit at all. His comment. And as for the royal family, it seems that it can no longer produce people who are energetic and capable. And then he analyzed the Chinese people and the whole nation. At the end of the book, he said that, but there is one thing we should not forget here. That is within the territory of China, there are a total of 400 million people. At that time, we had the population of 400 million people, and all of whom belong to one race and are not divided by different religious beliefs. And the self-esteem of descendants of the gods fills their minds. In addition, there is another thing that should not be forgotten. That is, we cannot regard the Chinese masses as weak or immoral people. And at the end of the book, he said that if China can produce a smart and charismatic figure as a co-leader in the future, I think he referred that the co-leader with emperor, and can make use of the modern cultural methods contributed by the countries around the world. I believe that China's future is still full of hope. This is his summary of his war in China. And the next two postcards, they're about the Russia-Japanese war in China. This is in the northeast China. In 1904 to 1905, Japan and Russia fought a war in northeast China for colonies, and about 20,000 Chinese died in this war. And after this war, China, as the biggest victim of the war, had no choice but to accept the reality of a redivided sphere of influence in Northeast. So the next page. Okay. So I would say the dawn of a revolution born out of suffering. So the Chinese people, and especially the Chinese intellectuals, they didn't give up. So the next page. Okay. So direct to number 72. 72 on the right side. On the right side, after the Sino-Japanese War, the Qing government ordered the training of a new army in order to strengthen its army's strength. And learning Western guns and Western methods It was known in history as the New Army. Ironically, and exactly this new army originally used by the Qing government to strengthen its rule, became the main force to overthrow the Qing government during the revolution of 1911. At that time, many new in this postcard, so we'll see many new army officers and soldiers had cut their braids. So because the Qing people, they all had braids, but this cutting the braids showed a change of old ideas and towards openness. And the next page with locomotives. So it shows that more and more railways and railway stations were built in China at that time, at the end of 19th century and beginning of 20th century. Okay, the next page. So the postcard on the left side is from Canton. Okay. So it shows the examination room of the imperial examination in the late Qing dynasty. The only way at that time for the common people to become officials. And in 1906, this imperial examination system, which had lasted for 1,300 years, was abolished by the Qing government. And the card number 76 is my last one. So with the title Young China. So the seeds of revolution gradually sprouted among young people in the late Qing dynasty, and ancient China was about to enter a new era. And so from then on, China experienced several different revolutions. The first one is revolution of 1911 and led by Dr. Sun Yat-sen, which ended the imperial age in China. So the imperial age, so more than 2,000 years. So and next the next revolution is the May 4th new culture movement in 1919, and led by the progressive intellectuals who struggled for the rise of emancipating people's minds from old culture and old ideas. And then in 1921, CPC was founded. And after that, so we experienced also civil wars, two very important civil wars, and anti-Japanese war, altogether 14 years. And the new China was founded in 1949. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your attention and your patience.
Ambassador, thank you so much for this interesting view of Chinese history and these amazing postcards. I don't know if anyone here in the audience presently or in the web have any question or comments. Don't be shy.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Ambassador, for this amazing exposition. Mine, it's not really a question, but I want to make a short comment. And I think one of the values about this postcards, basically, their art. They're like an art piece. And I would think it's a little bit, well, maybe you can tell us more about it, but from your own perspective. But I would like to know more about the clothes that they use. Do they have any specific name? Because I can see, obviously, since because it's long ago, but like they use different textures in the clothes, and you can see a lot of cultural aspects within not only historical but also cultural aspects of how they were dressed. Also, I saw things they used and the scenarios of agriculture, and you can see the mountains. So I would like for you to expand a little bit more maybe on the cultural part.
You want to go ahead, Ambassador, or
perhaps
alguien más con algún comentario, pregunta? Please.
in Chinese.
All right. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for this amazing presentation. Well, mine's a little bit of a comment as well. For me, banknotes are also very important because they also reflect a lot of the history, a lot of the symbolism of each country. So, for instance, Costa Rica recently changed all of its banknotes to kind of reflect the importance of environment, of biodiversity, of flora and fauna as well. So I think that both postcards and also banknotes are quite important to understand the culture and the history of one country. So that's kind of my comment. Thank you.
Ambassador, wearing my religious hat, I have to ask a religious question. And it is this. I think your favorite postcard, or you were discussing the German field marshal and his book and his impressions, but I didn't quite get what you said about the religious beliefs at that time. I wonder if you could expound on that. I'd be very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for this very interesting presentation. I noticed that I believe all of the postcards that you showed are European made postcards. I was wondering, in case you know it, if there was also a Chinese postcard industry or not, and in such a case, what was the general orientation of their depictions of China?
Other question?
Well, I think for the moment, Ambassador, we have a lot of questions. Thank you.
我请我的同事呢，帮我这个用西语翻译一下，这样可能更有助于大家的理解。
Dice que mejor que yo le ayude con la traducción para que ustedes puedan comprender mejor.
我先解释一下，就是为什么这些都是这个欧洲人的这个，主要就是都是欧洲人在使用，就是这些明信片。这是因为呢，就是当时的这个明信片啊，它是本身呢这些东西都是西方的东西，中国人还没有绝大部分中国人不了解明信片，也不会使用这些明信片呢，都是欧洲人使用了之后，他们这个从中国寄到这个又寄回去的这么一个，所以呢，就是你在中国应该是很难收集到这些明信片的，那么在欧洲确实能够收集很多这样的明信片。
Estas cartas postales son principalmente de europeos, porque en aquella época principalmente son los europeos los que utilizan este tipo de cartas y los chinos todavía no tienen esta costumbre y siempre son utilizados por los europeos y luego enviadas desde China a Europa.
第二个我想这个解释一下这个宗教问题。
Y en segundo lugar, quisiera abordar el tema de la religión.
那么就是中国人的其实本土的宗教是道教。
Para los chinos, la religión local es el taoísmo.
这是就是中国自己这个产生的一种宗教。那么在这个应该说是这个公元2世纪的时候，又开始从印度传入了这个佛教。那么佛教又跟这个中国的这个道教和中国的这个儒家文化又有一个结合。但是呢，在这个19世纪末20世纪初，应该中国的主流的就是这个宗教文化应该是还是佛教。然后这个佛教呢，跟印度佛教是完全不一样的，它已经深受这个中国的道教和中国的这个儒教。说儒家哲学的这种影响，所以就是当时应该是儒释道三者还是合一的。那么整个的精神生活是大致是这个样子。
El taoísmo es una religión producida localmente en China y luego en el siglo II después de Cristo, el budismo fue introducido en China desde la India y luego se combinó con el taoísmo de China y también con el confucianismo de China. Y en la época de finales del siglo XIX a inicios del siglo XX, la religión principal o más popular en China era el budismo, pero ese budismo es diferente, es totalmente diferente con el de la India, porque son muy influenciados por otras religiones como el taoísmo y también la filosofía del confucianismo.
那么从16世纪开始呢，这个西方的传教士就从欧洲到中国的传教士就开始不断的增多了。那么这应该是这个中国跟西方一个很重要的这个相互接触。那么当时那一轮的这个相互接触呢，应该说双方之间是非常相互尊重的。
Y a raíz del siglo XVI, los misioneros europeos estaban llegando a China y esta época se puede decir que es una muy importante época para los contactos entre China y el occidente, pero este contacto era principalmente caracterizado por el respeto mutuo.
当时呢，确实这个西方的传教士给中国带来了以先进的历法、先进的这个绘画和建筑艺术。
En aquella época, los misioneros occidentales trajeron a China como calendarios, pintura y también arquitectura avanzadas.
那么我这个刚才没有讲的一张这个图片呢，就是第61。就是图片第61和60。
En la presentación no presenté sobre las cartas postales número 61 y 60.
那右边的这个图片上的这个仪器呢，它当时就是这个在明朝末期这个传教士，它由他们来主持的修造的一些这个天文仪器吧。
En la carta postal de la derecha, el instrumento que se puede ver es uno construido con el apoyo de misioneros occidentales a finales de la dinastía Ming. Es un instrumento astronómico, sí, astronómico.
那么这些仪器呢，就是应该是北京，因为有个专门的叫天文台在那儿，它在这个八国联军的这个战争中吧，就被这个德国士兵带走了，就是在这个左边的这个图片上就可以看到，它当时是被安置在那个波茨坦，它的一个宫殿里头。
Este instrumento estaba en un observatorio astronómico en Beijing durante la invasión de la Alianza de los Ocho Potencias. Los militares alemanes lo trajeron y luego lo recolocaron en un palacio en Alemania.
那么在16世纪、17世纪，由这个传教士的到中国来的这一轮接触呢，总体是应该是一个非常和平的，而且是一种这个非常这种相互尊重的一种接触。那么在这个期间呢，实际上这个特别是天主教在中国有比较就是刚开始有所传播。
En el siglo XVI al siglo XVII, esta ronda de contactos con los misioneros occidentales se puede decir que son principalmente pacíficos y sobre la base de respeto mutuo. Y durante esta época el catolicismo empezó a difundir en China.
当时呢也有一些中国的著名的知识分子，他们就是加入了这个天主教。
En aquella época hay unos intelectuales chinos muy famosos que también se afiliaron con el catolicismo.
而且当时这个传教士们带回欧洲的关于中国的信息也是非常的正面的。
Y también en aquella época la información que llevaron los misioneros a Europa sobre China son básicamente positivas.
那么在19世纪，当这个西方列强用枪啊、用炮打开中国大门的时候，可能这个情况就发生了非常大的变化。那么应该宗教冲突问题也成为一个就是双方之间引发一些就矛盾的一种导火索吧。
En el siglo XIX, cuando las potencias occidentales abrieron a la fuerza con armas las puertas de China, este tipo de relación se ha cambiado enormemente y después los conflictos religiosos también se convirtieron en un detonante de conflictos.
那么中国普通老百姓呢，确实对这个，西方的这个宗教，他认为是可能是一种文化侵入、宗教侵入，它是一种非常拒绝的态度。所以，也就是刚才我在这个讲述的过程中也提到了这个八国联军就是侵华的一个重要的导火索，就是这个巨野教案。那么发生在山东，那么传教士呢，就是有被这个中国的这个民众吧，比如杀害了，就这样的一个事件成为导火索。
En aquella época, la gente en común de China pensaban que las religiones occidentales son un tipo de invasión religiosa y también cultural, y su actitud era principalmente rechazo. Y también en la presentación mencioné que un importante detonante de la invasión de la Alianza de los ocho potencias es el caso Juye en la provincia de Shandong, en el que un misionero occidental fue asesinado por los chinos.
还有一个问题就是关于这个文化心理，就是在这个时期中国人的文化心理问题。
Y otro tema que también quería abordar es la mentalidad cultural de los chinos en aquella época.
它是有一个就是逐渐的一个发展变化的这么一个过程。那么在1840年开始鸦片战争的时候，第一次鸦片战争的时候，实际上中国人是非常骄傲的。那么传统中国人认为自己是这个世界的中心、天下的中心，对自己的这种文明、对自己历史是非常的骄傲的。他们当时是不能够相信 也认识不到，就是自己的这个整个方方面面的这个应该说落后了。那么在每一次战争不断的失败，然后看到这个西方的这个技术的这种实力的时候，他是逐渐认识到哦，我们是现在不行了，技术各个方面不行了，所以对自己的文化逐渐就产生了怀疑，对自己的文化又产生了要改革的愿望。这也是为什么这个1919年新文化运动是一个非常大的这个事件。那么他确实从文化角度来对自己传统文化来进行反思，那么要求革新。
Es un proceso de desarrollo y evolución gradual. En 1840, cuando se estalló la primera guerra del opio, los chinos en común eran orgullosos de su propia historia y civilización y pensaban que estaban en el centro del mundo y no creían y no se habían dado cuenta de que en casi todos los aspectos estaban atrasados en comparación con otros lugares del mundo. Y luego con las sucesivas derrotas en las guerras y también al ver las tecnologías avanzadas del occidente, empezaban a darse de cuenta también gradualmente de que estaban en un estado de atraso y también empezaban a tener dudas sobre su propia cultura y civilización. Es por eso que en el 1919 el movimiento de la nueva cultura es un muy importante evento. En este evento los chinos empezaron a reflexionar y también empezaron a reformar sobre sus propias culturas.
所以我个人认为这是一个非常漫长，而且这个应该是非常一个痛苦的过程。就是先是拒绝外来文化，然后是这个逐渐的在思考自身的问题，就是我们自己为什么落后了，然后想办法来进行一个改革，特别是向外学习，最后呢，实现一个自我拯救的这么一个过程。
Y personalmente creo que es un proceso muy lento, largo y también doloroso. Al inicio es un rechazo a las culturas externas y luego una reflexión sobre los problemas de China y luego la concienciación sobre la reforma y el aprendizaje sobre los demás.
OK, gracias.
Bueno, agradecerles a todos su presencia. Ambassador, thank you thank you so much for sharing with us all these interesting postcards. Gracias a todos. And also I want to thank Professor for the Chinese course. Here we have a lot of students that are learning Chinese. So it's very interesting for the Academy to have you here. And I don't know if you have classes today. See? Well, so good luck. Thank you all for coming. Muchas gracias a todos por acompañarnos el día de hoy. Ahí tenemos cafecito y agua por si quieren acompañarnos. Muchas gracias.